woman's story in her marriage. The amount of times that I have gotten sucked into a woman's story. We are so manipulative. We know how to dramatize and exaggerate the circumstances and experiences in the marriage to suck someone in, to feel sorry for us, to validate us in our victim story. What's his experience though? What's his side of the story?
Exactly.
It's just like,
I'm telling you, when these women start telling these Me Too stories, you never hear the guy's story. You just like, oh, she said that shit? All right, well, we believe all women over here. And I'd just be like, oh my goodness.
Shut up, bitch!
it would almost be blasphemy to not believe some of the things a woman says. And oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you have to never.
Now look, this is a marriage therapist, and she's like, look, don't ever believe a woman's story about a relationship. And the reason being because it's exaggerated. They were the victims. They never had anything wrong. It's no accountability. And I'm not saying this for all women, but some for sure, right? My ex included and shit. Or
I was
volunteer.
covered in bruises all over my arms.
Actually, Will bites me sometimes, and I get so many bruises all the time from him biting me.
And they hurt, and he would poke at them for fun.
Damn.
And
supercut
he
this.
even felt so comfortable showing off my bruises that he had caused to our friends because he would bite me so hard by accident. By accident.
Hurt me more with biting. Wilbur Soot has bitten me harder than that.
Yeah.
He just bites everyone. He bite you.
What the fuck?
Never bit me when I met him.
He would. Wilbur Soot bite.
He would even joke that it looked like he abused me.
Damn, he's a biter.
And eventually he did
Option
acknowledge
3, idiot.
how bad it looked that I
Probably.
was covered in bruises all the time. So he stopped biting my arms as often, and he started biting my legs instead.
Look, now I'm not sure.
What the fuck?
And it was in the last couple of months of the relationship that
See this?
every time he bit me, it was until I needed to use this safe word. It had become his benchmark for when to stop.
Oh, the minx and the other girl, the notorious. You said drug addicts right here. Yeah, man. I know.
I've gone on a lot of dates. I keep trying. And it's unfortunate that a lot of my dating history, there were a lot of bad people that tried to manipulate or control me. But that's not to say that every person that I've dated has treated me poorly. Some people just weren't the right people. And speaking out about my bad experiences has never felt as important as it does right now, because silence has always brought me peace. And this time it feels like my silence is not keeping my peace. It's only keeping somebody else's peace. And I never thought that I could be the kind of person to end up in a situation like I did. I never thought that could happen to me. And so for me, this is important because it could help anybody else.
I swear, man, when a woman comes forward, it's always to protect other women. But it's more so really to destroy the credibility and career of the guy that she no longer has an affinity for.
See the signs sooner than I did, or hopefully avoid a similar situation entirely, because the truth is, it was dangerous. There were a lot of things wrong in this relationship that I endured some pretty terrible treatment. And I might touch on some things here and there about that, but if I can.
No. Touch on all of that shit. Just do one video, one shot, get this shit out the way.
I think it's important to the overall context, but what I want to stay focused on is this specific issue and the things that happened matter-of-factly and the things that people saw and witnessed in our circle. It took me 10 months after to heal, and I spoke with multiple therapists and tried different forms of therapy. I tried somatic therapy. That one was actually really good for me because that one actually helped me release a lot of built up anger I was having over the last year. But the anger that I was feeling was for myself because I felt like I should have known better. I felt so stupid at myself for sort of just staying through all of this. And I shared my story with a lot of friends after I started talking to therapists, and I was like, so this thing happened, and I wasn't really sure. It just seems weird now to me looking back, and all of them told me exactly what was happening in the words that I was too afraid to use. And I was being hurt in my last relationship. And it took me all of that time to see it through that lens. I even posted an anonymous story to Reddit that I have now deleted with an anonymous account. But in posting that, I found a dozen other stories.
You know what this reminds me of? What people do is they'll post something, see how it gets the response, see what response it gets, and then they delete that shit. Some people, not saying she did that shit, but it is looking like it.
That were exactly like mine, exactly the same way. And all of the comments said exactly the same thing. And I was so mad at myself because I was lying too, at a certain point to protect this person, because I knew that if I told my friends the truth, it'd make them look really bad. I didn't think that I would cry. And I practiced saying all of this and I didn't cry, but it's easier to practice it when no one is listening. But he always cared more about how it looked, and that was really important, not what was true. And it was really subtle. When I hear about physical abuse, I think of hitting. I think of hitting and punching. So I thought that this wasn't violent enough to be abuse. I thought that it was just like a constant accident that he kept hurting me, but he's not hitting me. And it didn't start as something that he did to hurt me. He had this habit of biting, which is...
All right, I'm not trying to make fun of her, but she said he has a habit of biting her ass, just like put a fucking Hannibal Lecter mask on his ass.
So weird to me now, but he said that he had this habit since he was a kid, and even his mom said that that was true. And he said it was just affectionate, and that might have been... I mean, I think that might have been true maybe at the start, but I also feel that I have good reason to believe that every part of it was a lie, but that's just my personal opinion. And I had no problem with just biting. That isn't even the most uncommon thing. But he did mention something.
Yeah, I have a huge problem with biting. I do not ever want to be bit by nobody, especially like during intercourse, after intercourse, just fooling around. You got a proclivity to bite, you not in my life.
Early that I should have taken as a red flag. And he wanted to make sure that I was okay with him biting me because he didn't want me to come back later and say that he abused me, which I thought was really weird considering he had never hurt me before. And so why would I call it abuse? And why was he thinking about that? And I thought he was being sweet, checking on me to make sure that I was still comfortable. But of course I was, because he hadn't hurt me. And why would I think he ever would?
What do you mean? He was biting you? Like, look, guys, I hate the... You know, they say you victim blaming. She was getting bit. I mean, like the Love is Blind effect. It upsets me. I'll just say that.
And then he did for the first time by accident. And I don't specifically remember the actual first time that he bit me too hard by accident because I didn't think that it would be significant. I thought that it would only happen once. And he started biting me more and more over a period of time, sort of throughout the whole relationship. And accidents of him biting too hard and really hurting me happened more and more frequently. But he always seemed genuinely sorry.
Hey, yo,
and
what
he
the
decided
fuck?
that he didn't want to keep accidentally...
What? How do you accidentally bite someone and accidentally hurt them? I swear, like, the way people try to rationalize things and say, well, I didn't know it was an issue. Well, did he fucking break skin?
Hurting me. So we were going to use a safe word. So he could learn where my limit was, where my pain tolerance ended. And saying that out loud now doesn't sound like that's not very sound logic.
It doesn't, because now what you're doing is volunteering. Now you're consent. Hey, you can bite me anytime. However, once you bite me and it hurts, I'm going to say a safe word. So there is consent right there. And now people about to like hate me because I said like, hey, she just gave him consent to bite.
But at the time I thought he cared about not hurting me. But in reality, it's like, why are you biting so hard? And why do you have to bite so hard? And it shouldn't be that hard of a problem to stop. That shouldn't be that hard. And he disguised it as this really quirky part of our relationship and was so comfortable sharing it with his friends to the point that he would do it in front of them. He thought it was this really funny story to tell and a good bit to take my arm and bite me in front of everybody until I literally shout in pain. And then I have to laugh.
Like, yo, who has witnessed her get bit in front of everybody? Never am I ever at a party or in a social setting and someone just goes off and bites someone and they fucking laugh it off. I'm gonna be looking at you like you're a weirdo. The weirder thing is probably the guy biting, right? But she like, yo, you just letting that shit happen? Now, if I'm out in a social setting, I see you get bit and you have no negative response, I'm not like, oh my God, she's hurting inside. I'm like, oh, this is some kinky shit that they into.
it off because I'm so embarrassed and I don't want to cause a scene in front of all of our friends. And I'm sure everyone was a little bit uncomfortable, but as long as I was saying that it was fine, nobody really felt like they needed to be concerned, and that's not anybody's fault because
Yeah, for real. Like Dracula's his dad and shit.
I was lying. I was lying, and it wasn't fine because I would go home later and I'd tell him how uncomfortable I was, how much I didn't like being hurt all the time. And I needed him to really stop biting so hard. I didn't like it, and I tried telling him over and over again because he wasn't actually trying at all to not hurt me. But he said he would try at first. And then he started saying things like, it was my pain tolerance that was too low, or I'm exaggerating how much it actually hurts. He's not even biting that hard. I'm being dramatic. But
okay, look, ladies, you know, I do have a daughter, and if you say, hey, I said the safe word, and they like, yo, your pain tolerance is too low, I'm not biting you that hard, run, get away. Because now what they're doing is invalidating your feelings, right? Because, you know, pain tolerances, you know, one person's pain tolerance may be different from person to person. You know what I'm saying?
his biting escalated to a point where I was covered in bruises all over my arms, and they hurt, and he would poke at them for fun. And he even felt so comfortable showing off my bruises that he had caused to our friends because he would bite me so hard by accident.
Oh my goodness. All right. I'm not laughing at her. I'm laughing at the fact that he would bite you till you bruise and then poke the bruises. Like if you ever got bruised, guys, it's tender. But you know, we got to hear her story out. Let's let her cook.
By accident.
Let him
he would
cook.
joke that it looked like he abused me. And eventually he did acknowledge how bad it looked that I was covered in bruises all the time. So he stopped biting my arms as often, and he started biting my legs instead. And it was in the last couple of months
Hey, yo,
of the
what the
relationship
fuck?
Yo, how do you get access to your legs and shit? Like, yo, this is wild, guys. This is wild. And like, look, guys, this is not like some random guy, right? This guy that she's talking about, he has 6.1 million subs. And we're going to get to his statement in a little bit, but you know, he ain't like some nobody guy.
By accident, he would even joke that it looked like he abused me.
Oh.
And eventually he did acknowledge how bad it looked that I was covered in bruises all the time. So he stopped biting my arms as often, and he started biting my legs instead.
Bruh.
And it was in the last couple of months of the relationship that every time he bit me, it was until I needed to use this safe word. It had become his benchmark for when to stop.
Look, guys, I used to have a safe word. I want to say it was hippopotamus. Not for me though. I mean, it was like we had two things going because I was dealing with someone who wanted to be choked and shit. I was like, look, it was like, choke me. I'm into that shit. So I'm like, all right, you know, I ain't never been like into like choking people or asphyxiation of any kind. So I was like, look, when I do it, if it get too much, tap the hands. You know, give me boom right there. And that shit worked out fine. We had it good. The hippopotamus though, it was like for he was doing some backdoor shit. I know.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
I know. And when you're doing backdoor, you gotta go really, really slow or whatever. All right. So anywho, let's get back to her. Let her cook. Yeah, I'm saying.
Only once I was definitely hurt, which meant I was being hurt every single day, multiple times a day. For all of the days that we spent together in person. And when I asked him to stop again, this time he said, this is who he is. He isn't going to change.
Damn.
Those were his words.
Okay, now at this point, if you're still there, it's all your fault. I'm sorry. It's not Jermaine. It's your fault. If he says, hey, look, I know we got the safe word and shit, and I know I'll be biting you and poking fun at you and shit, but this is who I am. Now, at that point, I mean, she had several jump off moments, but this point right here, this is a clear jump off moment. But I know a lot of people are giving her sympathy and, you know, she's so brave and for telling her story and all this other stuff. But it's like, sweetie, why didn't you leave at this point?
And I remember a lot of specifically his words about certain things, especially at the end, because I'm good at remembering words. And especially his wording, I became really good at remembering because he was constantly contradicting himself. And I would notice, but most of the time it wasn't worth picking a fight over. But he would fight me on it sometimes because I would point it out. And he would insist that he had never said the thing that he said. He definitely did say. And then he would say something like, how are you?
I ain't gonna lie, I've did that shit before. I'm like, look, I would say something like, I don't remember saying it, but if you say I said it, I guess I said it.
So sure, you're remembering correctly. Why are you always right? And he definitely said the things that I heard him say and other people heard him say. So he had now at this point weaponized the safe word and was using it to ensure that I was hurt and on a constant basis. And he wasn't sorry anymore. I couldn't even tell you the last time he had a...
Well, I hate to say it, but he told you this is who I am. I'm an habitual line stepper. I'm a biter. And you was like, all right, I'm going to still stay. And he's weaponizing the safe word? Like, she's a Shubble. What the hell, girl?
Apologized for doing it anymore because now sometimes he would bite me and I would yell out the safe word because it hurt so bad. And he'd clamp down even harder. And just for a second, just for good measure, before letting...
Bro, he using her arm and legs as a fucking chew toy. This is what, like he a teething infant and shit.
Go. And sometimes I'd say the safe word and he'd grind his teeth down on my skin. And sometimes he'd smile after.
What the fuck?
Like a gloating grin. And during this time,
where's the garlic and holy water, right?
It was filled with so much anxiety all the time that I was constantly nauseous, gagging daily, on occasion throwing up because of the pit that was in my stomach. I never told him about that, though. I was going and running away quietly to throw up in the toilet and rejoin our group of friends.
I hate this.
But I felt so unwanted and ignored. And I would tell him that, and then he would reassure me that he wanted to be together and he loved me. He loved me more than I loved him, even. He would always insist that that was true, like that. I love you more. But
well, obviously, you were his favorite chew toy.
He was like really serious about it. And looking back, I do believe that the way I was swept off my feet at the beginning of this relationship was 100% love.
No, Cheyenne, you're wrong. You're supposed to leave. You're supposed to leave. You're supposed to leave, not keep receipts. Leave.
Of bombing. And we were friends for a time. At least people would have thought that, actually. But I use the word friend very loosely because we had actually never spoke to each other outside of group chats we were in together when, like, a handful of times throughout the whole time that we knew each other. But did not talk to each other. So I wouldn't have even called him my friend until he found out I was single, waited a few weeks to reach out, and then we started a friendship. And then that friendship turned romantic. And then he made these huge romantic gestures. He wrote me the most beautiful love letter that I had ever read. He called me his soulmate. He talked about forever 1 month in. He told me he hadn't been in a relationship in 5 years. He thought he could never find love again before he met me. He said he wanted someone to grow with. He wanted to be a dad. He had all his names picked out. And I didn't have a preference because my feeling of it is if the timing is right and with the right person, I could. But if that doesn't work out in time or the time, I'm not super pressed about it. But I started opening my mind up to the idea with him because it seemed so important to him. And
a bait and switch coming.
I kept trying to talk to him to figure out where he was later on when I could tell things like were declining. And
true though.
Now all of a sudden he's telling me he's not sure he wants kids at all. In fact, he has never been attached to the idea of kids. And I told him that isn't what he said before. And he said he's allowed to change his mind.
Hey.
And I'm of the opinion that
Yo. I know these are some huge things to change your mind on. And like women out there, most guys will say, yeah, I'm all about getting married and shit and this and that. and then they bait and switch your ass. And you know, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. But you know, it is what it is. Let's keep here listening to Shubble.
Relationship, there are a few things that you are not actually allowed to change your mind without letting your partner know. I think that kids is one of them. It wasn't even important to me. And I think marriage is one of them. So I brought.
Here's the thing, right? Why would you even want to reproduce or get married to a guy who bites you, which you said you don't agree with? Like, where is the logic here? I'm just saying. Shout out to Shubble, though.
That up next. And I asked if he still wanted marriage. He said he wanted to marry me. And then he said, now, I'm not the, quote, I'm not the commitment guy. You know that.
Holy shit.
I didn't know that. Why are you dating me? In fact, he was telling me the exact opposite every day. He would tell me he still wanted to be together. He wanted to work on all of the problems. He wanted to, like, he wanted me at the end of everything. He did not want to break up. He made that very clear. And I have, though, caught him in lies before, but usually it was small stuff. And I didn't want to, it wasn't anything that ever seemed worth rocking the boat over, which isn't normal for me. I hate lies. And yet I ended up lying for him. So,
damn.
But he had lied about.
Hey, you live long enough, you become the thing you hate the most. So she's like, I hate liars. Yeah, I'm lying for his ass.
Big things. And he had also been caught lying by his friends numerous times. So this is something that he feels is acceptable to do. And everything reached a breaking point when he was about to leave for an extended period of time.
No. She is not some kidnapped victim. She came there and left on her own free will. Stockholm Syndrome does not apply in this case.
We were not going to see each other very much, a few days out of every few months. And now suddenly he is dumping all of these problems that he has been having feelings about all of this time later. At one point he said he's been feeling this way a couple months. At another point he says he's been feeling this way for 6 months, immediately contradicting himself in the same conversation. And with no time to do anything about it. I arrive, never mind, I'm going to get to something later, but I literally arrived for 3 days for this conversation to happen and then leave. My cat just woke up and she's not usually awake right now.
Nice guy, gross vampire, pale face.
It's really close.
Oh man. Oh man. What the hell?
Dinner time. I should have fed her early. So no time to fix any of the problems all of a sudden because there are 3 days before he leaves. And he insisted he did not want to break up. So he was expecting me to have a solution somehow magically, and I gave a number of solutions that would have a way forward for us to be together, but he refused to make any compromise.
I wonder what was the solutions. Hopefully no biting was like one, right?
Whatsoever. And he said that the relationship was starting to feel like a responsibility towards the end.
A chore.
Also his words. So it wasn't a responsibility the whole rest of the time to him. And he was at this point basically flaunting that he would never prioritize me over anything.
That is a hard pill for women to swallow. I think men should be upfront though. Like if you like a super career oriented or maybe like a content creator and you dating someone, like content creators, usually content takes priority. If you super career oriented, your career is going to take priority. Like these NFL guys, they like, look, football will always be number one. You would never be number one. I mean, it's like Shannon Sharp said that, like, yo, let them know. Skip Bayless too's like, yo, I'm gonna let you know I'm gonna marry you, but you will never be number one. It will always be sports. And that's the deal laid out up front. So, you know, like halfway through, you can't be like, well, you told me it was this. And I was like, well, it is what it is. But this is some Vampire Diary shit. But hey, what do you guys think? Do you put your woman number one? Is she your number one priority? Let me know.
She's eating my laundry. Please don't cause problems. And I wasn't even asking for literally even the bare minimum. I was asking for so little. And
I swear. Women always say it's the bare minimum.
I was watching him give exactly what I was needing in the relationship all over the place to anybody else who just happened to ask and just wasn't me. So, and he also, he was never going.
Yo, the biting jokes are hilarious. Keep them coming. I mean, we're not making fun of Shubble, but the memes kind of write themselves, guys.
Going to prioritize me over anything that would give him more fame or money. In fact, he said that himself. That was exactly why he was not going to compromise at all for a solution for us to be together, because he said he wanted to see how much fame and money he could get.
Hey, well, a ninja do got like 6 million subs on YouTube. I mean, what do you expect him to do? I mean, if I'm him, I'm like, hey, my career is YouTube. It's not, you. And I'm sure he meant that in the nicest way possible. Like, look, the career, YouTube. You see this? 6.1 million. This is what's paying the bills. Not, you just a chew toy.
And I just thought we wanted to be together. I thought that's what we both wanted, because that's what he was still saying he wanted too. But then he also admitted to me that he had grown to resent me.
Ooh.
And I have to be thankful that he said that bit out loud. A lot of these bits he said out loud.
Hey, she about to cry. She's remembering how it made her feel when he said he's grown to resent her.
Because that was the last push that I needed to get myself out.
Not the fucking bites before? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You mean to tell me him biting you 1,000,000 times and pushing the line with the safe word was not an indication to get out? The straw that broke the back was him saying he resents you, which means if he would have never said that shit, she would still be there getting fucking bit.
He had grown resentful, which I also pointed out that there was no reason to feel that way. And he admitted that there was no reason for him to feel that way either. I think that it was because I'm someone who can communicate how I feel. But I don't know. I think I have a lot of theories and reasons why I believe things happened the way that they did and why he was lying all of the time. But he was resentful of me, was causing me physical harm every day, multiple times a day, despite me telling him over and over again to stop. He wasn't going to change, and he wasn't going to end the relationship. He was going to keep hurting me, and it was possibly going to escalate even further.
I mean, where else are you gonna bite you? It seems like appendages is his thing. Arms, legs. I would hate to say something else, but I really don't know where else he would go with the biting. I hate the bars on the side. They're driving me crazy. But let's let her cook.
So I broke up with him, and I didn't even want to.
Good for you, girl.
Because I couldn't even see for such a long time after.
Wait. Did she say she broke up with him and didn't want to? No way.
Further. So I broke up with him, and I didn't even want to.
What the fuck?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Because I couldn't even
She didn't listen about like 20 reasons why she should have broken up and then said, hey, I did not want to break up with him. Like, yo, man, hopefully my daughter watches me and be like, Dad, you right. If someone crosses my boundary, I should leave them alone. Especially one that's like causing physical harm. Like, yo, what the fuck?
See for such a long time after what it really was that had happened, that he had abused me. And in fact, we left things as we want to be friends, and he can never imagine not speaking to me again. And then he never spoke to me again. Outside of like a couple of exchanges where I needed to ask for my clothes to be shipped. So at least I got my clothes back. I had a whole closet full. However, he did throw away all of my other things without saying a word to me.
Hey, Cheyenne, hell no.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Nope.
Hell no, I'm not. Look, if she's doing this about him, every boyfriend, any boyfriend who dates her from here on out, you see that look in her eyes? Hell no. Hell no. You do some shit that she don't like, expect a 30-minute FU video.
About it.
No thank
Hundreds
you.
of dollars of things from my office were trashed without a word. And I didn't block him till 10 months later because I wanted an open door still. I really thought I wanted to be his friend.
Damn. Is this love or stupidity at this point? Let me know in the comment section.
But I don't feel that way anymore. I do believe he was bottling up so many emotions, and he would never talk about how he felt.
Uh-oh, she's a therapist now.
I think he even, he did admit that he felt like he couldn't say it any sooner. Like there was just no possible way to say how he was feeling sooner than the absolute last possible chance. Like not even a chance, because 3 days before he left, that was actually a lie too. Also, he didn't leave for another week after I left. He brought me in, had this 3-day conversation. He was supposed to leave, and then he stayed for another week before he left with all of the friends that I was also meant to see, but he had lied to me about the dates too. But I do believe that that he.
What do you mean this story is stupid AF? Hell no, it ain't stupid. His life is over. It's done off this story. You don't even know the back. You don't even know the snowball that this story has had on his life. We haven't even gotten there yet. You like, well, she's stupid. She volunteered. He broke the safe word. She stayed. She didn't even want to break up with him. Oh, he's canceled. He's done.
Was bottling up so many emotions that he was taking it out on me physically. I believe there was a moment where he knew that he didn't want to be in the relationship anymore. And instead of just ending it, he tried to push me away any way he knew would hurt me. And he knew all of the ways that would hurt me the most. And he knew he was hurting me. There was no way that he didn't know because of the safe word that he made. And he just didn't care. He was hurting me and he didn't care. And even looked like he was enjoying it sometimes. And I can look back now and I can see all these instances that were really major red flags. There was this one time that he pinned me down and asked me to try my absolute hardest to get him off of me. And I couldn't do it, obviously.
Dominated your ass, but oh God.
And he said something to make the point that he was so much stronger than me that I wouldn't be able to fight him back. Fight back against what? What do you mean? You don't say shit like that to people? That's insane. And I was also
chat calling her out and probably getting blocked at the same time.
Sexually assaulted by my first boyfriend, and he knew that.
Oh God.
He had stopped giving anything to the relationship, and he said that why was because he was just waiting for things to change on their own. He said he also didn't have the time or energy anyway to do the things that I was asking for, but then would constantly make any bit of time and energy.
No. The first boyfriend assaulted her, not this guy. Like, they're coming for this guy so hard. You guys, I know you guys think like this story is funny and it's silly and we meme it and we having a good time, but this video has had a severe impact on his life negatively. And when we get to his response and how some other people have started white knighting him, you're going to be like, wait, this story over this? I'm like, yes, over this, guys. Allegations, a well-timed allegation with the right amount of support could ruin a man's life.
For anybody. And
if you don't believe me, ask Rich Campbell.
Anything but me. And he would say he wanted more quality time. So then I would try to arrange things for us to do online because we were long distance. But then he would complain that he doesn't want to spend all of his time on the computer anymore. And then we'd be there in person and all he wants to do is stay inside, play games on his computer, watch movies. He doesn't want to go out. And I'm not saying any of this next part to be mean.
Yes, she is. Look, when they say like, it's like saying, look, I'm not racist, but, and you say some racist shit. No disrespect, but I'm about to disrespect your ass. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm about to say some mean shit. Like, this shit, so, look, stop.
Stop the cap.
He lived in filth like I have never seen. And I've seen filth. This was the worst.
And she didn't leave. He would
spill things on the floor and never literally never clean them up. He got an ant infestation once and wasn't going to do anything about
Now
it.
look, see how we go from abuse to living conditions? I tell you, she's out to destroy him. That's all this is. Hey, I'm about to destroy him, and this shit's working. It's working.
Because he said, bugs are normal in British houses. So I had to buy ant killer, and he wouldn't clean his bathroom.
Now look, she's in America traveling to some dude in fucking UK or something, or Great Britain, somewhere over there and shit, and she's getting bit on her arms, legs. He's living like a slum. She had trepidation about breaking up with him because he's crossing her boundaries, and everyone looked to her as a victim instead of a volunteer.
Bathroom for months and months and months, but would constantly complain about how bad it smelled. And I would tell him, that's mold. It's mold. He'd complain about being tired all the time too, which I don't know if that was a lie or not, but mold will do that too. But he would insist that it wasn't somehow without having cleaned in months, but it's not mold. When I met him, he was washing his clothes without detergent.
You see all this? You're like, damn, I thought we was talking about abuse. No, fuck him. I'm about to expose him to the folks that don't know him.
Just it wasn't using that at all. And I don't know for how long before I met him. He was just running it with water and then hanging it on his filthy kitchen cabinets. And I felt bad. Because I felt like he needed someone to help him learn how to be cleaner. I thought he just didn't know how. And
I swear women be wanting to fix a ninja. They like, I'm going to fix him. He likes to bite. He's living like a pig. He just needs me to fix him. I'm going to fix him. Like, no, you're not.
And I listened to all of the struggles of his upbringing. And I was like, he just doesn't know how. Someone just needs to show him.
That's what it is, Shubble.
And then I found out that he said he doesn't clean at all when I'm not there because he just waits for me to get there to do it. And I only found out about that after we broke up because he said it behind my back.
Damn. God damn, man. Like, Shubble. Hey, she a real one though, right? I mean, you date her, you just gotta just expect the 30-minute video after it's over. If you don't marry her and give her some kids, 30-minute video, here it come.
I was doing all of the cleaning and laundry for him. Also, I had a separate bathroom. I want to make that clear. I wasn't using that bathroom. I had a separate bathroom that I cleaned for myself. I had cleaning supplies. I don't think he even actually knew I had cleaning supplies in there. But I had my own bathroom. All the cleaning, all the laundry, all of it, I was paying for. All of the paper towels, like
imagine sleeping with a guy who's using just water to wash his clothes, living with insects, biting you beyond boundaries, and you still letting them smash. Crazy.
Soap. All of that only stayed in the house so long as I was buying it.
What are you talking about? She looks.
I would arrive and there would just not be toilet paper in the whole house. There were paper towels instead. And who knows?
Bro, that's men shit, yo. Like, oh, I'm out of toilet paper. Now, this is before I had a daughter and shit. Now we always had toilet paper, but hey. Paper is paper, right?
For how long, too? I was paying for food more than half the time. Because he would often push me into ordering food for us, even if I had paid for the last meal or the meal before that. And I'm of the opinion now that I shouldn't have been paying for any food. None at all. But I wanted to I thought I was being equal by at least doing like a back and forth. But I ended up paying for food more often than just going back and forth anyway. And he would do this to his friends all the time, too. But I was also paying for every plane ticket and the cat sitter, which cost roughly the amount of a plane ticket to England. And he never offered to help me pay after the couple of times he did come here to visit me because he paid for the flights that we would both take. but that only happened twice at the very beginning.
I know. Right?
I have
Look, hey, but look, she's volunteering for all this shit. Like, there are a group of women out there, and I'm not saying she's one of them, that want men to basically pay for everything in their life. They become dependents because, you know, there are some people who are looking for fathers instead of, like, you know, maybe a partner. You want a partner? Why am I paying for everything? Now, you know, I pay for everything for my daughter. Are you my daughter? No, then why should I pay for everything? But you know, it is what it is.
actually had a friend tell me that this is financial abuse, but I don't know enough about that to say for myself. But I
what?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
What? Holy shit. So now he's financially abusing her because she's paying for her food and transportation. I tell you, man. was
telling him that I couldn't afford it all by myself all the time because I was losing money. I was never able to work properly there, and he wasn't traveling at all to see me anymore, even though he said he would. That was like the basis of our entire relationship starting off. So then he agreed to pay for the cat sitter so that it would be basically paying half the cost of my travels. And he did that once. And then never did it again, despite many more months of dating. And I was traveling often. I had to, because he was worried that we weren't spending enough quality time together. And then all of the time that he would have ever extra, he would choose to not.
Oh man, she's a victim, right?
Not spend it on me because there was an available choice, and he chose not to spend it with me often.
Yes.
And I did everything short of just up and move there, which I was willing to do the whole time. And I told him that I was willing to do it.
Holy shit. Oh, this is a very unpopular opinion that I have, that she was a volunteer. She even said, hey, I was willing to move there despite the filth, despite the biting, despite the hygiene issues with toilet paper and washing his clothes. She was still willing to move to another country for this guy. And the straw that broke the camel's back was when he told her, I'm starting to resent you. Then she was like, I'm done.
He knew, but he insisted that I don't. He insisted not to. He was planning to move here. That was supposed to happen first. And then at the end of the relationship, he said maybe things would have been different if I lived there. If I lived there. Like I had to.
Oh, she was willing to move there too, right?
Said I would the whole time, and he insisted I don't. Maybe that could have saved the relationship.
Shit, she got... She's not unattractive. It's just like, mentally though, like some shit might be off. She's staying in abusive situations.
And I say all of this because I believe that people like this are genuinely dangerous.
Always.
I believe he is dangerous. He was willing to lie. He was willing to do harm to someone he claimed to love more than anyone he has ever loved. His actions.
Here is a picture of him right here. Shit. Like, this is who she might as well been fucking dating and shit. Hannibal Lecter and shit. Like, yo, he keeps biting me and shit. Eventually he's gonna take a real piece out your ass. Hey, but yeah, she's going, now he's dangerous, man. I tell you, guys, fellas, watch out. This video is a huge red flag to me.
Escalated. And I don't think that I'll be the last person that he hurts. And I felt like sharing my story was really important to warn people. I want people to see the signs that I refused to. I want you to listen to your body and get out as soon as possible. Tell your friends the truth.
What the fuck?
And let them help you. I really thought I couldn't, because I had been sexually assaulted in a previous relationship. I just thought I was so much smarter to never, and I was like, if someone ever laid their hands on me, I'd leave immediately. It would never happen a second time. But you just...
If someone bites your ass, though, you like, well, they didn't technically hit me.
It just kind of happened so slowly over time and got worse and worse and worse until the point where there's no way to deny the fact that he was hurting me and he knew and didn't care. That's just the kind of thing that I keep repeating to myself when I'm like, but was it bad enough? It wasn't violent enough. But I was being hurt multiple times every single day, days and days and days and days for a month at a time in a row. And I'm not even speaking on most, because I did touch on other things, but I am not even speaking on most of the other things that, in my opinion, I do think that there are some things that are across a line that make you a bad person. I don't think that most people can be defined in a black and white, you're good or you're bad, but I do believe that there's a line that you can cross, and only bad people will do the things on the other side of that line. You know what I mean?
Like, guys, I don't know if you realize, we are watching this at like 1.5 times. Imagine this shit was playing normal speed. We'd be here for forever.
I watched a couple of things cross that line. And I truly feel now that my soul is so healed. I am light years beyond him. This was the last thing that I felt like I needed to do. That's my cat. Before I could move forward and hopefully never talk about him ever again, outside of maybe my stories that I want to tell about other shitty things he did.
Oh, she's gonna milk it. Holy shit, this part 1.
Anonymously mixed in with the other stories I
she gonna do it anonymously. Nah. Stand on that shit.
still have of shitty things that shitty exes did, because I think it's important for us to share our stories and our experiences. I think it's important for all of us to know that we deserve so much better than this. And I think that if people don't want us to talk about the shitty things that they do, then they shouldn't do shitty things. And this just felt so important to share. I always wanted to share my experiences. I always will. And that's kind of it. That's the end of everything I prepared. I reserve the right entirely to change my mind later and tell every story I want to.
They're calling this guy a domestic abuser.
For now, that's all I really have. I feel like from my soul, I want to speak on, because
they're saying that what he did to her was domestic abuse.
Because I think that this can help other people. I think that it can help other victims. I have already talked to a number of... I only cry now when I'm talking about my friends who also dealt with such shitty things from shitty people.
Oh, she hate men now.
But I'm also so grateful for all of my friends who were through with me through this whole thing, and my friends who also were experiencing similar sorts of situations at the same time, and we kind of went through it together. So,
your boyfriend sucks too. Yeah, mine does too. We have both bad boyfriends.
I think they are the strongest people in the whole world, and they made me feel like the strongest people in the whole world today. Should I call myself people? I meant person. I feel like the strongest people. I did it again. I feel like the strongest person. They made me feel so brave.
No, she tried her damnedest not to say all men, so she said people instead of men.
I felt impenetrable today.
But
I am going to go now because my friends are coming over, and we're immediately going to go become distracted by watching Love is Blind. I already watched all.
Now let's look at his response, because shout out to this video for putting his response in here.
All of it already, and I don't.
But they also doing a little bit of some little propaganda up in here, but his response is in there.
So thank you for listening.
With annotations to show how he's manipulating his audience. Ooh. Dubious. Oh. Oh my goodness. What are they saying? Your perspective doesn't matter or change anything if you care about someone. Well, see, I hate this. Your perspective doesn't matter or change anything. If you care about someone and they feel hurt, your perspective and intentions do not matter. They are hurt. Apologize. Don't defend yourself. Remember, guys, never apologize. Never do it. I've been telling you that from day one, because watch how his apology is about to be weaponized. You like, no way. Yes, that's why I tell you, never apologize. Even if you know you're wrong, never apologize. Just trust me. All right, cool. Let me remove chat real quick. In the past week, a series of allegations have been made over my conduct from an ex-girlfriend. Why don't you just say her name? That was some big shit. I want to emphasize that although I feel it fair to offer my perspective, this person's feelings are completely valid. I have taken my time sharing this statement as I wanted to process and respond respectfully and with the hope to gain a deeper understanding of the situation. And this one they say, feelings are completely valid. Feelings are valid, but I'm going to contradict myself in the next page by claiming it was a misunderstanding and then gaslight you into thinking you gave me consent and it was mutual. If you give someone a fucking safe word, it is consent. That is how you issue, that's caution. That's consent with caution. Like, hey, yeah, you can punch me in the face, but if I say Rumpelstiltskin, you gotta stop. All right, let's keep going. I have taken my time in sharing this statement. I want to process and respond respectfully and with the hope to gain a deeper understanding for the situation. During our relationship's final months, I regrettably became slobbish, disrespectful, and selfish. So there's him taking some accountability for the slob portion. I don't know where the disrespect came in. These actions caused a lot of pain to my ex-girlfriend. I've since sought therapy to address these behaviors, making significant lifestyle changes to rectify my past actions. I have come to realize how much my past behavior hurt this person, but I truly, compassionately believe I have made great strides from the person I once was and hope I can continue to grow and improve on this trajectory. Like, okay. Now, what does this person say? What does this person say? But I hurt this person, but I truly am compassionate to believe I made great progress. Let's keep going. This entire, I think we missed something. Okay, yeah, we missed a little bit of their analyses. All right, this entire statement means absolutely nothing based on what he says in the next paragraphs. If you truly change, you're truly a better person, you would understand your faults, but he continues to defend himself. Guys, just don't apologize. Just don't apologize. And are we talking Power Rangers in the chat? Do I need to time somebody out? Boop. All right, cool. Let's keep it going. All right, so the allegations of abuse, particularly in the form of biting, deeply shocked me. Throughout our relationship, I understand from our numerous conversations and text exchanges on the subject that this behavior was consensual, playful, and reciprocally enjoyed. I truly believe those personal messages, exchanges, reflect mutual affection and understanding. People shouldn't have to say that it is not normal to bite them so hard they bruise. She was scared. She was so scared she didn't leave. She was scared of what he, She was scared of what he'd do if she told him to stop. Wait, what? I don't recall her saying that. She did tell him to stop, but he continued. I just do not understand this thought process at all. I would never, ever hurt someone I love, even if they consented to it. This mutual understanding. This is probably the most manipulative part of this entire thing. He is threatening her. What the hell? I truly believe those personal message exchanges reflect mutual affection and understanding. That's a threat. He's threatened. This is the most. He is threatening her to make her feel like he has the power, but won't use it right now. He has better set an expectation for her, anyone else that can leak your private conversations, but he won't. He is also trying to make himself appear to be a good person by not revealing them. I could do this, but I won't because I'm a good person. Okay, all right. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Maybe he like, look, bitch, you keep pushing the envelope. I am going to release I can see this as a threat. Like, look. I got proof that this shit was consensual. You doing all this shit for clicks, views, and clouts. Let's keep going. Da-da-da. Out of respect for her, I choose not to publish them, and I emphasize my perspective is not shared to diminish or invalidate anyone's feelings. Instead, I share the hope that I can offer a genuine, fair, and relevant insight into my understanding of the situation. While I may perceive our interactions differently, I recognize that this person has processed and expressed feelings of hurt. I want to extend my sincerest apologies for any pain that I caused. So like, remember guys, look, this is why I tell you don't apologize. You know why you apologize? Look, he apologized thinking he's doing something good. And then like, nah, bro, you controlling, you manipulative, fuck you. That's why you don't do it. I am fully committed to understanding and addressing her concerns going forward. I hope my perspective sheds light on the situation without detracting from its message. I am dedicated to earning and maintaining the trust of those around me, and I hope to continue to be held in high standards. I wish to attain and maintain. Like, what do you guys think? Now, when I tell you this guy is getting canceled, it's because he's getting canceled. And particularly because we have a white knight amongst us. I mean, we ain't gonna get to the biting yet. There is his apology. Without the added, without the added rigmarole. But now we got Dream weighing in on the situation. Now, guys, if you don't know who Dream is per se, he is the YouTuber with like 12 million subs or whatever. Oh shit, I'm sorry, 31. Like, so you got this guy, White Knightner, with 31.8 million subs, and he said this. This is where it goes. Goes left. She said that she withdrew consent using a safe word, and that you frequently would intentionally bite down harder afterward to the point that she would scream. Oh, so look, this is from the notion of believe all women. Okay, believe all women right here, even isolated from everything else that is clearly abuse. While reading this, I was waiting to see you talk about that issue, to say anything at all, only to finish reading to find out that you didn't acknowledge it once. Because maybe it didn't happen. I don't know, Dream. Like, you just believe all women. Wasn't you caught up in some shit not too long ago? I really don't understand how you thought this was accountability or an apology or even an informative statement. This did serve as confirmation. She was talking about you, which I'm glad to have, Wilbur. You take accountability for being slobbish, disrespectful, and selfish. Those are things you acknowledge as past problems, while overshadowing the physically abusive actions and claiming to be completely reformed now. You seem to truly think you did nothing abusive, and this statement is built on that foundation. You are being dishonest with yourself or dishonest with us, or both. You describe these actions as consensual without refuting her complete revocation of consent through your agreed upon safe word, a word set with the purpose of explicitly ending consent. So at that point, you're acknowledging that there was some consent that took place. She trusted you with a safe word as a boundary. You shattered that trust. He might be trying to pipe. Dream may be trying to smash Shubble. Therapy won't help if you seriously describe your abusive actions as playful, affectionate, and especially consensual. Your therapist can't read your mind and know you're being dishonest. And Shelby can? I don't know. Shelby was afraid to say your name due to your dedicated audience, and this wasn't acknowledged either. As someone who at times shared an audience with you, this is severely disappointing. Just rung the bell on his ass. Oh man. She had a reason to be afraid to say your name, but you shouldn't have been afraid to say hers. I agree. Like, what? She could have said his name though. Like everyone figured it out. Like, oh, my ex-boyfriend was biting me. Who was my ex-boyfriend? Oh, it was this. Oh shit. Oh, and Dream sends you a letter you did, right? In my opinion. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm sorry you had to go. Look, Shelby, look, there's the White Knight. I'm sorry you had to go through this. I'm sorry that you felt scared about public support. And I hope this gives you some hope that the world overall is full of good people. Because I'm trying to pipe too, but I won't bite, I promise. I'm sorry that you will forever be affected by this. As a victim of domestic violence, I was scared to ever speak out, in fear of not being taken seriously or believed. It is incredibly encouraging to see so many people express support and uplift your story and messages. I believe this can help prevent many future situations like yours. No. What you guys don't realize is women who are into getting bit, will flock to him. They will fill up his DMs, hoping he fucking takes a bite out of crime on their ass. I'm sorry if these events involving me or my audience in the past contributed to all your anxiousness about coming forward in this community. And I hope this serves as a reminder to everybody that at the end of the day, the community and creators are united when it comes to the most important things: protect all women. The truth was right and wrong, speaking for those who can't, uplifting the voices of those that might otherwise go unheard, standing up for what's right, and speaking against those that do wrong. Holy shit. Your story would help so many young people see signs of toxic and abuse before it's too late for them. Thank you for being brave. Oh, I can't believe this guy is getting canceled. Now, look, here's some bite now. Here's some allegations, right? Like this, he's pretty strong and he doesn't seem to be fazed when his friends are in pain. In order for Shelby to make their friends not worry about the biting, hurting, they laughed it off until she afterward discussed how he could not stop. Let's watch it.
Again, are you ready? Again, are you ready? Go no way, Tom. When you close two hands, what are you doing? Tom, when you're ready, get your arm ready. Don't just start. Right? Are you ready? Yeah. And go.
Oh fuck! I'm so annoying.
Oh, he hurt her. He didn't seem phased, so he canceled.
Go no way, Tom. When you
A real pleasure. A real pleasure, Your Honor. That's my 10 mil play. Just a real pleasure, Your Honor.
Violent. He's pretty strong. He's hurting his friends. Like,
close two hands, what are you doing? Tom, when you
if this is the evidence that people have on me, guys. Now here's one that's kind of creepy though.
To me? Yeah. He keeps biting me. Yeah. To me? Yeah. He keeps biting me. Yeah. To me? Yeah. He keeps biting me. Yeah. To me? Yeah. He keeps biting me.
That shit don't look good. That shit doesn't look good. I admit that one. Like, yo, he keeps biting her. Goddamn. I don't know what this one is.
You actually just caught my nail.
Get him off the streets now. Lock him up. No, he will not be going to jail, but, you know, the biting stuff is...
I think we should go on the boat.
Thanks. Don't try and eat me.
I think we should go on the boat.
Thanks. Don't...
Now, look, guys, I don't know what you guys think about this, but yeah. He's getting canceled, properly canceled. Everyone hates this guy at this point. So let me know what you think of this shit in the comments section, and I'll see you next video. Peace.